What is something you haven't had in 20 years and now you're craving it? Carefree nights riding my bike with my best friends. One day you guys rode home and got off your bikes for the last time and didn't even know it. Youth. I miss the health I had in youth more than actually being young. Your body just gets worn down as you get older. Things hurt for no reason. Healing takes longer, if it ever heals at all. I've torn ligaments that will make standing walking never be as good or easy or painless as it was in my youth. I've developed tinnitus which will never allow me to enjoy silence again. I've had a lifetime of poor posture that causes random back pain. And it's only going to get worse from here. Eventually there will be some new chronic ailment, heart disease, cancer, and death. I long for the days when nothing hurt and I felt invincible. I'm at my 30s with tinnitus in both ears since 2012. At first I wanted to die, but you know what, and I shit you not, it was good that this happened to me. I learned that a noise won't kill me, it surely annoys me sometimes like now, I remembered I have it, but fuck this noise, I am master of my own self, and I will not dedicate my life thinking about it. I used to be always in bad posture, until one day I said enough and started hitting the gym. I feel so much better now. You know, my grandpa who is turning 89 this year, has taught me a valuable lesson. Take excellent care of yourself, and the chances are good you'll be smiling throughout even the old days. Grandpa still drives, 5 years ago was the master swimming champion of my state here in Brazil, and he constantly goes to dancing clubs and stays up until 3 a.m. My mofo grandpa reportedly walks 5 kilometers at least every day, lol. He's an example to me. He's poor as fuck, but is always smiling. I thought I had tinnitus last year and looked up a few YouTube vids on it and found people who had had it for years and were doing this pressure point looking exercise on their neck and it gives them silence for a little while. You know I don't actually miss youth. Maybe cause I'm only in my 30s at this point. But really it feels like I have waited my whole life to really feel like an adult and now I do. And I really like it. I'm very comfortable being this age. I'm finally taken seriously, I have learned a lot and I'm ready and able to create the life I want. I was 10. I think I'd like to visit the checkout aisle of a limited too. Like where they had special journals with locks and fun pens and glittery tween things. Edit. Limited 2, not 2. I think. Justice is basically the same thing. See if you have one in your area just for the memories. My first thought was a Cinnabon, but reading all the other replies makes me feel like the least creative person on the planet. Nah man, mine was flaming hot Cheetos. But they make those go buy some. The home-cooked meal, with my 2 sisters, father, and mother in the house I grew up in. In less than 36 hours I'm moving halfway across the country, and it'll be the first time I'll be more than 2 hours from any of my sisters or my parents, outside of vacations, in my life. This just hit me really hard. I did it. I leave for 3 months at a time. I come back for a weekend. After 36 hours, you get sick of sitting at the same table and realize that there's a need to grow beyond what you began with. I get it, man. Big changes like that can be insane hard to deal with. I'm moving to a new city and country, Dublin, Ireland, in a couple of months for work, alone, and I am scared shitless of the potential loneliness. But big decisions like that can also end up being one of the best choices you've ever made. Just know that this random internet stranger is rooting for you. Affection. Not living in an ideal situation right now and haven't really had any kind of affection for a very long time. I miss uncomplicated affection. Seems like every touch from every person is loaded these days. Psilocybin, at least I think it's been 20 years. Pretty close, if not. I'm seriously considering ordering a spore kit and trying my hand at growing them. I took about 10-year break. Recently been getting back into it, pretty cool dude. Much better now that I'm in a good spot in life. My trips are just fantastic without having to try and stay in a positive mindset. Gay bars back then were these magical hidden places. Walking up to one felt like 1,000 searing hot glares were burning holes in your back. If there was ever a time to get beaten up, it's right there. The windows were painted jet black for privacy. But once the doors opened, it was a full-on spectacle. High heels, glitter, feathers, disco in Eden. Female empowerment, love and acceptance. We knew we only had each other inside those walls. And in those few hours each weekend, we felt loved. It's hard to explain unless you've never experienced it, but feeling loved for 3 hours a week sounds really depressing, but those 3 hours felt like sunshine and flowers in the spring after a long winter. It was enough to let us know we were still alive. Of course, most LGBT folks experience this every day now. It's more normal to be loved than ever before. But love every day feels less impactful and special. When I watched Pose on Netflix, they perfectly captured that feeling of stepping into the club. Check your sadness at the door, it's time to be outrageous. I can relate. A little over 20 years ago I lived in El Paso, which had an epic gay bar called the Old Plantation. For those that knew, it was actually the best club in town. Best music, strongest drinks, an after-hours party that was epic, and the patrons didn't care if you were gay or not, just that you were there for a good time. My girlfriend at the time went there because as a stripper, she was less likely to run into her clients. One night, we went across the street to this lesbian bar. On karaoke night, my girlfriend got up and sang Madonna's Crazy for You in front of a crowd of hooting and hollering women, and I just sat back and thought, yeah, and she's going home with me, ladies. Good times. Being a senior is high school and having my whole life ahead of me. I'd be 11. I would work my ass off this time around and ask out the cheerleader I found out was crushing on me. And be nicer to my mom. And spend more time with my grandparents. Would you do anything different? Some things yes, some things no. I'm super stoked on where I'm at in life right now. Good job, bought my house at the best possible time, great friends, and married the most awesome woman I could have asked for. But there are definitely certain spots in the journey to get here that were either unnecessary or avoidable, and certain little things I probably could have done better. And I know I was a dick to certain people for just the sake of being a dick for some reason, and I really wish I could take that back and had used that energy towards something more positive. Halva. God, that stuff is so good. I'm the only one in the house who likes it, so it never makes it onto the grocery list, and then I forget all about it. Thanks for the reminder. Breakfast from an old gas station my dad used to take us to every Saturday or Sunday morning. It was all pretty standard stuff: pancakes, your choice of either sausage, bacon, tenderloin, or chicken strips, eggs, gravy, and biscuits, but I never got sick of it. Free time like nothing to do. Nothing I should be doing. Flexibility in the lower back so as muscle that wasn't constantly in pain. Getting fat and old sucks. My papas, they passed away when I was little and didn't get the chance for them to see me grow up. It's been nearly 20 years since, and the other one will be almost 15 years soon. I don't even remember what they sound like anymore. Limited to clothing. I just want to be a cool 12-year-old again. The K-Dog. There used to be this little place we called the BBQ bus over off Waxpool that sold 1/4 pound hot dogs with stewed pork BBQ on top, topped with this really good slaw. Haven't had one since about 2002. Was reminded of it today when I learned yet another hot dog place closed. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. Like, comment and subscribe if you're new here. More great Reddit content coming soon.